Hello and welcome back everyone to another episode in our Let's Play series where we're doing a beginner achievement run. Today we are on episode 11 and it's been a little bit since we've done an episode. However, I'm excited to jump back in. Today we're going to take care of a couple of things. First and foremost, let's lay out the achievements that we're going to work on today because this is an achievement run after all. And the achievements that I plan on achieving today are first teleport of call, which requires us to defrost a friend over here at our other planet, aptly named Mukazan. And another one that we'll get just kind of by the way will be 1 year to be exact, which requires us to get to cycle 365. Also, while we're over here on Mukazan, we should be able to get Slick, which requires us to enter the oil biome, which will be down here towards the bottom of this asteroid. So those are the main ones. I'd also like to work on Totally Tubular, which will require us to set up transit tubes. I think that we have the power infrastructure to do that on our home asteroid. We'll also work on Critter Whisperer, maybe, perhaps. I think the shine bugs are extinct on our home asteroid, but we do have a couple of shovels and plenty of Paku and a couple of puffs. And we also have pips. So we should be able to get all of those except for just a few. And also once we get to the oil biome, we'll be able to grab a Slickster. I mean, I guess we can wait until later. Maybe we'll set up some farms for that. I'm not in a super hurry, but those are some things that just trying to get them taken care of as quickly as possible. We're also going to be working on our Great Escape. We only have one right now, but we're going to put mini pods on all of our colonies. The mini pod is one of those structures that once you put it down, you can't move it. So we're going to want to be very careful about where we put those down. So I'm not in too big of a hurry to put them down. Although maybe we should kind of decide on where we want those to be on each planet, because that might be helpful if we get any good rolls as far as dupes go in our printing pod. That could help out immensely. So maybe we'll do that. Okay, we'll probably work on that. This one's going to be a little bit off. We're not even going to be getting to that one yet. And we'll also work on getting this honorary doctorate. However, we're going to have to start making our data discs or whatever they're called, because we're going to need that on the home planet. So perhaps we'll do that as well. We'll start working on that as well, because we want to get a bit more of this research done. We don't have a whole lot left to go, but we do have a couple of things here. So we'll work on that as well. What are we working on right now? We're working on the interplanetary launcher. Okay, so once this is done, then we'll switch down to the monument so we can get to that. I think that'd be a good idea. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's go back to our home colony here. What I'm doing here is we are extending this power brick, or whatever you want to call it. We're extending this room down. We're going to put another transformer here because right now, as you can see, this is on dupe power. And what I kind of want to do is I want to start automating as much stuff as possible, because that'll free us up to kind of send some dupes off and do whatever we want to do on some of the other asteroids and not really have to worry about this too much. I think we also probably need to scale back our hatch production because we have a ton of food. I mean, just a ridiculous amount. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna disable all of these. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this critter sensor down to 0. And I think what that should do is it should give us a green signal, which will turn this off. And then I think what we can do is we can just kill all these guys. Go ahead and kill them because we really don't need that many hatches right now. So I did just discover something I wasn't aware of before. I loaded this in just to kind of take a look to see where we were earlier, and the dupes selection was different here on the printing pod. So apparently if you want to, I mean, I'm sure some of you knew this, but apparently if you want to just kind of keep re-rolling this, you can just check it out. If you don't like what it's offering, you can just quit to the main menu and then come back in and you can just try it again. Let's just go ahead and start with my little list. I made a little list here. So on Placebo here, I want to maybe cool this a little bit because this is getting a little warm. So I think what we'll do is we will switch to our plumbing overlay here. And we're just gonna plumb this in a little bit. Maybe we'll just do this. You may need to add just a little bit more coolant to it, but that'll be okay. Let's take care of something down here, and that would be our electrical stuff. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna actually, this may look a little confusing, but we're gonna just jump across here like this and bring this down like that. And the reason for that is gonna be because we're gonna come across here with our other one. And we'll stop right there. That one will connect down here like so. Once they finish building all of that, we'll be able to kind of switch this over. Also, I'd like to add a couple of lights, and I thought that might be a good idea as well, so we can get things done faster, because as you can see here, Nisbet here has the lit workspace to do her work. The sinks, the pile of interest is the bottom left, so that means that if we're going to use this, we're going to need to put it here, and that should cover both of those. And then we'll also add the light in here as well. Let's actually change this to something different. We'll just put it to that one. And this will cover both of those. And then obviously we're going to need to give this a little bit of power, just like that. And I think we can get rid of this and that. What else could we put some lights on? I think we probably need some lights up here, correct? Let's see. Grab this light like that. Yeah, that could work. That won't work. What is the tile of interest on this? So it's the second. So we're going to need to have something that'll... Nope. That's not going to work. Okay, well, we can't do that for that. We might be able to put one here up on the exosuit forge. Yes, we can definitely. Let's look and see what the tile of interest on this one is. Okay, it's there. And light should be able to grab all of this, shouldn't it? And then we'll do another sensor. And then obviously we need to connect these together, just like so. And then we'll need some power for this one as well. Oh, we want to put one over our materials study terminal, of course. And the tile of interest on that one's going to be the center. So we'll do this right here. And we'll go to automation and we will wire that up. And then we'll also give it a little bit of power. Bruh. You know what would be really interesting is putting a light in here. Maybe it would might increase the grooming speed? I don't know. Interesting. Okay, looks like this circuit is done. Go ahead and disconnect it like so. There you go. That's going to cool it off real quick. Sweet!
Sweet! What about mine?
That is sweet. The lighting is done. All right, let's switch over to Timberista here. Aptly named because, you know, we have the arbor trees here. Timber, get it? And what do we need to do here? We need to build a kitchen. We want to do a closed loop bathroom system here. We're going to want to find a spot for our printing pod. And we are going to maybe start considering taming some of these volcanoes because I feel like, uh-oh, why are you making a mess? I don't understand why you would do that. That would be why. Somehow we accidentally deconstructed the pipe. Ah, we need to build that bridge. See, that's what happens when you start messing around with the electricity, huh? We'll just chalk this up to knocking the rust off. We'll probably have a couple of messes to clean up, but no biggie. I think what we're going to do is we're going to send Devin over because Devin here is a field researcher, and we'll need him to, I think, unlock the stuff over there. And he also can do a little bit in construction, and he also has several points available, so we can kind of make him a digger and constructor and all that good stuff for now. He's already got a +5 to construction, so I think that would probably be the best person to send over there. I know it seems like we're picking on him a little bit, but I feel like it's probably necessary. So let's go ahead and send Devin over there. We're gonna do that. Teleport. All right, here we go. Let's slow this down just so we can kind of get our bearings. Let's go ahead and defrost our friend here. And there's our achievement. There's teleport a call. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is maybe dig this out. Actually, let's take a look at what we have here. Okay, so we have that. We're gonna want to find our output. Okay, it's here. All right, cool. So I think what we might do is just be a little cheaty here, and we'll go ahead and we'll just pipe over some oxygen from our other colony. And let's go ahead and go to Devin here and give him some digging. He's probably not going to be super happy, but it'll be okay. We can skill scrub him later. And there's Slick. So we have 2 of those done. We're going to get them some oxygen over there. We're still actually doing okay. Now we can dig this out of here, and we're going to activate this. Okay, the next thing I'm probably going to want to do is just block this back off, because we're not going to come over here just yet. And now we have some oxygen. Very nice. We may want to set up a telescope so we can start looking at stuff that's around here. Back at Timberista, and now we're going to want to put down a laboratory. Now the question is, what do we want to do next here? We're gonna have to put this guy to work, so maybe we can start digging some of this out. It's kind of hot down there, jeez. I didn't realize how hot it was down there. Okay, well, we're gonna have to do a little something here. We're gonna have to insulate this. Give you that to do. I think that ought to keep you busy for a couple of minutes. Now this is how we're going to produce these data bank cartridges for our research. I'm just gonna leave her up here for a little bit and let her use up a lot of that plastic, and then we will bring her back. All right, so we actually have some research complete now. Let's go ahead and start working on our monument. So I've done a couple things here. We are making a carbon trap here as well, just to kind of suck up the carbon that's down at the bottom of the base. This is pretty typical that I like to build pretty much on every asteroid. I guess another way to deal with it could be oxiferns, but I'm not sure exactly how much they pick up. But anyway, insulated the base. I'm probably going to send somebody home. Probably going to send Devin back because he really doesn't need to be here. Well, this will be a 2-man outpost, and we'll start digging down in here in the near future. I didn't capture it, but I did put a telescope over here, and we did reveal pretty much everything that's right around this vicinity. So the next thing I think that I'm going to want to do is set up a telescope over here on Timberista. Well, I guess we're going to have to fix that, aren't we? I turned the auto bottle on and just completely ignored it. Okay, well, we'll start here. So we've finished our closed loop bathroom over here. Looks a little something like this. If you think this looks familiar, that's because this is pretty much the same setup as we have on our home asteroid over here. And then we just added one sink and shower and lavatory. We have 2 cots. I don't think we're gonna have more than 1 or 2 people here. I was doing the mealwood here, but I don't think we have enough dirt to, well, actually, we do. Okay, yeah, we do have more dirt. So we definitely need to clean this mess up real quick, and then we'll get back to this. This is the airlock right here. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to have the airlock, and that'll come down into this area. We'll put a couple of atmosuit docks here once we get this water pump back out. Back here on Placebo, we got a lot of idleness going on. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to send some of these guys off to do other things. It appears we have a insulated liquid pipe that has taken some damage. I'm not quite sure how that happened, because the liquid is not freezing. Shouldn't be anyway, unless something accidentally happened to this momentarily, but it's at negative 19 degrees ish, and it looks as if this cooling loop isn't quite full, so that's an interesting thing here. That might have been what happened there. That might have broke and caused this dirt to come up in here. Interesting. We may be able to fix this somehow. I'm trying to think what we might be able to do. We might be able to put a door here, come down in here and fix this really quick. I'm not sure. It may end up being a little tricky though. Yeah, we might want to do that. Might be able to come in from this side and fix that. We'll see. For now, what we'll do is we'll just kind of fill this loop back up, and we'll do it like this. All right, that'll fix that up. Okay, let's see what we have going on here. Let's just disconnect this up here. How about that? Perfect, 10 degrees coming out of that. I love it. Bye-bye, Devin. Thanks for being our pioneer. All right, buddy, get to work. Devin, of course, you're gonna get your bed back. All right, new species scan. So it turns out that I guess you have to put one of 5 different species in here. So that being said, we're gonna need a couple of different things. And I'm also wondering why all of our Drecos are dead. That's interesting. Okay, well, it's a good thing we have some Drecos over here. Very interesting indeed. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking this water, I'm bringing it up into our cooling loop that we created for our refinery, and I am separating out the brine because there's a decent amount of brine in it. No, it looks messy, but it's working. And then I'm just putting all the brine into these reservoirs here. I was originally putting it here, but now I'm just transferring it all over to here, and then I'll get rid of this right here. Once it's separated out, it sends it over here. It's going to send it to the metal refinery, but it's also going to keep this thing full. The idea here is that we're trying to get rid of this water that's just kind of laying around. So slowly but surely, all this water will get used up, and hopefully once it starts getting a little bit lower, we'll just put the rest of it up into this tank. Once it's empty, you can see it's buffering into here because it's taken a while for it to cool down. And then we'll just get rid of all of this, and then we'll just leave the loop with one of these full, and that'll run our refinery. Also, we're doing some stuff with these. We're trying to tame some of these guys. Also, what I did was we're sending oxygen over to Mukazan, and what I've done is I've created a little bit of a buffer tank here, so we have some on hand. That way we don't run out. I'm also going to put a rocket platform over here. Actually need to put some water here, but I'm scared to do it because I know that when I do, what'll happen is it'll overfill. I'm a little bit reluctant to do that as of yet, but we will get to that. And I put this around this just because, well, I mean, it looks like it still is vacuum pretty much. Oh, actually, wait. So there is a little bit of gas in here so these things don't overheat right away. But like I said, I have these guys doing this. We're going to make a little bit of a rocket tunnel here. We're also trying to recoup our Drecos here, slowly but surely, because apparently we called them all accidentally. And, whoops. I think what happened is that we didn't have a critter drop off over here, so we weren't replenishing the breeder farm. And when we called all these guys at some point, these guys died and had no replacements, so, oops. We're gonna try to tame our puffs here. That's why we put them in this farm. What I did was I just disabled this door here. I just disconnected it. That way this door never opens. That way we can kind of tame whatever we want over here in this farm. Let's see if we got that pip tame because it looks like it should be tamed. So we've tamed a pip. That's good. We're going to try to tame a puff next and a pacu. We're working on the pacu over here. Trying to get these guys tamed. And there you go. 1 year to be exact. And it looks like we finally tamed a pacu. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe some of this carbon dioxide over to the other to Mukazan, because right now we don't have a whole lot. And what we're going to want to do here in just a moment is we're going to want to build a rocket platform here. And there's our tamed shine bug right there. And there's another achievement, immovable object. We're blocking a meteor with a bunker door. All right, so another update here on Timbrista. We added the telescope we were talking about. We have started to uncover a couple of things. However, it's slow going right now. We finished our carbon trap for this colony, and we fixed our water issue. I added these tiles right here, these airflow tiles, because, let me get down here to the gas tab, because we want all the carbon over here to kind of sink down into this trap too, so that's why we added those here. We also put these Atmos suits. We put our crusher out here. This is just to kind of have a couple of things that we need. Yes, we'll get over here to that here in just 1 second. And, yeah, so we can just make some of the things we need. We also brought some carbon over here along with some other supplies. The way I'm doing that right now is with this ship right here. As you can see, we're over here on Mukazan, and it might be a good idea for us to get rid of that, huh? Yeah. This shuttle right here, as you can see on the interior, we have a couple of bins. What I've done is I've set these all to a priority of 6. So what'll happen is when we go back to Placebo, whatever I have in those bins will automatically be stored because everything on this planet's set at pretty much a 5 or below. As you can see, a lot of these storage things here. Once this lands on another asteroid, we have these ones set up at a slightly higher priority than that, and they're set to whatever I want to be unloaded here. So basically, all I have to do is take this shuttle. Oh yeah, and I also added a critter cargo bay, just in case we wanted to transport some critters. Bonnie here is a critter rancher, as well as all the other stuff that we had her into. She's got her piloting maxed out. She's pretty fast. She has a piloting of 12. I know that's not the highest, but it's pretty good. She's also really good at digging and machine operating, and she has a couple of other skills going for her. So she's kind of our cargo shuttle expert extraordinaire. And right now we're going to go ahead and swap all this water over here. We already talked about the carbon trap. We're working our way down into this area. We may start coming into here pretty soon. But yeah, so for right now, we're just offloading some of the materials that we have here. And oh yeah, and I also kind of built this up. As you can see, we have a rocket tunnel here. And when these rockets come in, I'm going to set this gas to about 10. Basically, whenever the pressure's above 10, and the gas is carbon dioxide, this will pump it, and this will kind of recapture some of what comes out in this tunnel, because as a rocket takes off and lands, it lets off quite a bit of carbon dioxide, and you can trap that in here. As you can see what we've done right here. That's what we've done on this planet. Obviously we're not going to stick with carbon dioxide forever because the rocket size is pretty limited. However, until we get a little bit more research done, that's what we're going to do. And as far as research goes, we did finish our monument here, so we're going to start building that. However, that takes quite a bit of resources. I'll show you that in a moment. Next, we're going to be working on this high velocity destruction, which will give us the drill cone, because we're going to want to collect stuff in space. And as you can see, we have a couple of things going on in space. We have these sandy ore fields, and if you click on these things, they'll show you that they have a bunch of stuff on them. They have sandstone, sand, algae, and an artifact available. So you can kind of set your spaceships up for that. Now, I'm still kind of learning these, so I'm really enjoying this. But one thing I did do recently was I put an artifact module on one of my spacecraft. Actually, the research vessel has it on it. And I just came out here and it collected an artifact, which I ended up putting over here in our colony. Whoop, let me come down here. As you can see, we have a couple of them now. We got that one from the critter fluxomatic, and we got this one right here, the office mug. We got that one from that planetary excursion module. And as you can see, we are discovering some of the space around us. Hopefully we'll uncover this, because I think this goes out 3 tiles. So 3 would be this area right here. So we're uncovering the last ring of tiles here for this one. I think for us to get any farther out, we're probably gonna have to go into the next tier of spaceships. So we'll see. Yeah, see, look, we're coming to the last couple here. Maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think we got one more ring to go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's how that works. Yeah, because it's like 1, 2, 3 out and around. So it'd be 1, 2, 3 out and around. Yep. Okay. But yeah, so that's what we have going on right now. Let's see where we were. We talked about Timberista. We talked about Mukazon. And let's come back over to our home planet. We didn't do a whole lot over here. Still working on this water over here. I did change this temperature. I changed it to 24 degrees because I realized that we're pumping this water over into this reservoir, and this reservoir is already pretty darn cold, and it's starting to seep out into the base, and we kind of don't want that, so we're going to raise the temperature just a little bit. We have a bunch of ice in here. It's probably not going to let it get too warm. But yeah, so we have that going. This is running quite a bit. I did manage to get in here and fix this. I just came in down through this way. I put a door. I think I have a little bit too much steam in here. That may be what's causing that. But I also noticed that when I fill this loop up completely, that's when that pipe starts to break. So it kind of broke a little bit, and a couple of these have some gaps in them, some empty spaces. And I think I'm just gonna, I know it's not efficient, but I'm gonna leave that this way. Maybe you guys can give me some pointers on what I'm doing wrong here with this loop. I'm not sure what I did wrong, but maybe we can figure that out in the future. That's a future Engineer Troy problem right there. We put another metal refinery in here as well, as you can see. And the reason we did this, we have them just cranking out steel. The reason we did that is because when you build these monuments, look how much this takes. This thing takes 7.5 tons of steel. That's a lot of steel, so we need to start cranking out some of these materials. It takes a bunch of ceramic, a bunch of plastic. So yeah, we got quite a bit of resources to gather to build this monument. We're gonna have to figure out where we want to put this monument as well. But yeah, I think that's where we are, and I think that's actually a great place to stop for today. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.
You